Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to take a minute. I was out mowing my greens this morning and I was thinking, you know what, I should probably explain this to people. So I was going to tell you why I do this to my lawn every year. Like I said, I was out mowing the greens this morning and I am loving the way they're looking. They just peak when it's really hot in the summer. So I've been double cutting. We just had the miniature golf course birthday party. So that's what this is all about. That's why I do this every year. A few years ago, we did the miniature golf course birthday party and I do this. I scalp the holes. And so this was kind of the shape of one of the miniature golf holes. I have gone over with the triplex and scalped a little bit more. So last night, like you just saw, I did the front yard. Did the front yard yesterday evening and just haven't gotten to this yet. I think this is gonna happen today where I'm gonna scalp all of this. This is Tahoma 31. The front yard is Tifway 419, but it's kind of the same concept either way. It behaves similarly. The miniature golf holes. So I scalp, as you can see right there, where it's really scalped down to like brown grass. We scalp out all the tops, all the green stuff off the top. Let me rewind again. A few years ago, I did this and I didn't scalp everything else. 2 weeks later, the spots that had, every spot that had a miniature golf hole on it looked way better than the rest of my lawn. So we call this in the DIY industry, whatever, not an industry, all of us DIY people, we call this a height of cut reset or a mid-season scalp. But the reason you call it a height of cut reset is if you get behind on your mowing with Bermuda grass, you've got the brown stalk on the bottom of the grass and the green leaves that go up to the top. So if you get too far behind, that brown stalk will grow up taller and taller. So then when you start doing your just normal maintenance mowing, you're gonna scalp off all the green stuff, you're gonna get down to that brown. So over here, that has definitely happened. That happened in the spring, actually. I kind of wanted to do another scalp in the spring because this section I would scalp a little bit, and it's kind of been scalping a little bit ever since then. When we mow with the Ventrac triplex mower at 1/2 inch, there's a little bit of scalping going on. So I've kind of wanted to do this ever since the spring. The reason that happened in the spring was there's a ton of rain, it was wet a lot, we got behind on our mowing. So that brown stalk, all the grass got up too tall, and then we were taking it back down to 1/2 inch whenever we could, when the water stopped, and it started scalping. So it's been doing that kind of ever since. So anyway, I'm happy to do this now. I'm excited about getting this scalp so that now the green part will grow up taller. The best way to do this, and this comes from the guy who takes care of the Carolina Panthers Stadium, Danny Lucido. He told me when we were there, he had Tahoma 31 on their practice facility. I think on their new practice facility, they have the same thing. But Danny Lucido told me that when you're scalping, whether that's in the spring or if you did something like this in the mid-season, which obviously is not a thing that sports turf that they do, but if you were gonna scalp, the best way to do it would be to slowly raise your height of cut after that. So you're constantly cutting the green stuff and training the grass to grow sideways all the way up. Usually as homeowners, we don't necessarily have that kind of time and that kind of precision. So we just go straight from scalping and then go up to 1/2 inch and then just start mowing. And whenever the grass gets up to 1/2 inch, it starts cutting it, right? But in theory, the best way to do this would be to put my mower at like 0.3. So we scalped down to 1/4 inch. So if I put it down to 0.3 and mowed a few times on that, then moved it up to 0.35 or 0.4, and then eventually got up to 0.5, that would be the best. And that's how the grass would thicken up really, really well. Again, maybe for your next spring scalp, you might think about trying that out going into summertime as you get up to your actual height of cut. But that's why I do this. That's why I do this mid-season height of cut reset, is because I noticed when I did it the first time, the holes, all the places that were scalped after it recovered, it only takes a couple weeks, it doesn't take very long. After it recovered, it looked better than the rest of my lawn. So the last couple years then, now I've done the whole lawn and everything recovers after a couple weeks and everything looks awesome for the rest of the year. Because the miniature golf birthday party happens mid-July, and so that's kind of perfect timing for me because then halfway through the season I can reset, and then for the rest of July, August, and September, it looks awesome, even into October, and then we'll go dormant. I'm in the transition zone, so my Bermuda grass goes dormant way earlier than everybody else's, but like October, it still looks great. So it's a good reset. It's a good way for me to just level the playing field, and this would be a good time to do any top dressing if you needed to do that. If you needed to put sand out, I already did my top dressing this year, but if you needed to put sand out anywhere, you've got the grass nice and low so you can rake it really smooth and you can put the sand out. Because we like to scalp before we put sand anyway. So hopefully that was helpful, hopefully informative. I know I do a bunch of goofy stuff on my lawn. I just show you all this crazy stuff in all these shorts, and sometimes there's no context. So just wanted to give you a little bit of context and tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing on my lawn.